I can't hear when you speak, the crowd was loud. If I didn't care enough, I'd leave out. Listen what I tell you, what I say now. Can we quiet down? Please don't read between.
What's up, guys? This is Via, and I'm looking right here. Hi. And with Via Talking, brought to you by Via Guatemala Coffee, and this is Tina. Let her say what she has to say. But we have some awesome guests today. We have Harlow here, who we're going to talk about OnlyFans. So if you're interested in how to start, if you're interested in a day in a life, and then we're also going to speak to recording artist, singer, and just amazing artist here. And so she came along too. So this is just great conversations and conversations without limits. So ladies, welcome and feel free to speak openly and freely. This is a no judge situation. But we do understand you guys have certain people you don't want to know, but whatever. All right, we're gonna ask and talk to you about anything and everything.
Of course,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. Is there a question that you want to ask first?
Just to introduce myself again. It's Tina here, your favorite Afro-Latina. I'm excited to start this journey, grateful for this opportunity with these girls, and I'm excited. Again, this is, the table talk. We could talk about everything with no limits. Yeah.
All right. So, first of all, Harlow, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, how old are you, first of all?
I'm 21.
Okay, so you're 21. How long have you been doing OnlyFans?
Since as soon as I turned 18, I started.
18, really? Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this. So you started, right? And then do you feel like it's been lucrative, and do you feel like it's something that you're going to keep going with, or is it something that you have like a time cap on?
It started off as like I was in a desperate position for money at the time. And it ended up making me a lot of money. It was very lucrative for a long time.
Wait, time out. A lot, like 40,000 or 50 or 60, 70 or like
I would say probably about 70.
70K at 18?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
We need a round of applause. Oh my God.
That's
okay,
amazing.
sis.
I mean, yeah. So obviously that's a lot of money for 18.
18 years old.
18,
Wait, and not
sure.
using your mother or father money?
No, I wasn't living with them.
No, you weren't living with them. This
No.
is the next question I'm gonna ask. And you can be like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How was your childhood like?
Interesting. It was kind of all over the place. It wasn't bad by any means. I had a good childhood. I just jumped around from family member to family member a lot and moved around a lot.
Because you fought a lot with your mother and father, or were they married? Did they get divorced?
No, they've been married. My dad travels a lot. My mom's a teacher. There's just a lot of family drama for a long time. And then, as I got older, there was like a fighting with my parents. So I moved out of the house when I was 16.
Oh my
I could
God,
relate.
really?
I moved out at 17, so I could totally relate.
Yeah.
Now, did you emancipate yourself, or no, you just lived with family?
No,
And they allowed you to do
No,
that?
I lived with my boyfriend at the time.
And they allowed you to do that?
No, but they didn't really have a choice.
Period.
happens.
She said, what's that song? INDP, the Aimless Independent. Okay,
Yeah.
so you started at 18, and now do you see the money in OnlyFans only going up?
I mean, it stayed. I personally fell off a lot. I feel like I went through a lot of things that I was like not comfortable taking pictures of myself for a long time. So I took a little break, and I obviously was losing money doing that, but it helped my health in the long run. Now it's more of just pocket, like back pocket money, because I have all of the other things that I'm doing, but I still try to stay updated on that because it is money at the end of the day.
Okay, and let me ask you, do you do like full nudity? Do you do like toys, like playing with yourself? Like, what are some of the weirdest and grossest things that people have ever asked you to do?
Well, the other day somebody asked if they could buy a bottle of my bath water to drink.
I've heard that.
You said you wanted to drink.
I'd be
Purchase
like,
underwear.
I'd be
they
like,
go.
10K. You can have my bath water. Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so these are like the weird fetishes that they ask?
Yeah, there's another guy who has like, I don't know why it's like
This is
a
pretty
giant
wild.
fetish, I guess that's what it's called. I've never heard of it until now.
Oh, a
but-
child fetish?
No, a giant fetish.
Oh, I'm about to be like, nah. I'm gonna computer off right now.
delete that.
No.
No, because I'm sure have some.
Yeah,
we'll get
there's
back to
some
the
weirdos
giant thing,
out
but
there.
have some asked you to dress like a schoolgirl?
Not that specifically.
Because
no.
no, to me, I think that's so creepy.
Yeah.
I like when you ask to do that, I'm like pedophile.
Yeah.
Okay, so the giant thing.
Yeah, they like you to look like giant. I guess they want
giant.
you to be like overpowering them and like
Okay.
standing over them. So I have these like stripper boots. And they go all
Like
the way
a
up to
dom
my
situation,
thighs.
like
It's
a
a
dominatrix.
dominatrix thing. So I'll put on like my
Yeah.
lacy black robe
What's that
and
called?
my
BD. What is it called?
dominatrix.
No, but it's a BDSM.
BDSM.
What is it?
BDSM.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
So basically, he likes me to put the phone on the floor and stand over the phone and like step on it and
Uh-huh.
like tell him how tiny and puny and horrid, like pathetic he is.
Okay.
So that one's fun. I like that one.
Do you use the 0.5?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Okay, so guys, ladies, if you guys want to step on somebody, use the 0.5 on the camera. Okay, so I have a story about that. Okay, so I was out one day, this was maybe like 15 years ago, and me and my friends, and we were eating, and they were like, oh, we gotta go. And I don't know why I was still there. I think I was waiting for someone else. But I look to the corner of me and I see a man with a white button up. But the reason why I was like so intrigued, I could see he had a pink bra underneath,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And then I looked down in his feet and he had like, you know, the girl lace socks on. So me being who I am, I was like, hi, right? So I was just like,
Like,
whoa.
what's going
I was like, how are you? And he was like this. He's like, my mistress stood me up. He's like, I think she broke up with me. He was so like quiet, right? And I was like, oh, you're married? Now, I didn't know that mistress is a BDSM word. Like, so
Like the
mistress
goddess,
means
they have
dom,
different
right? I didn't know
terms.
that, right? He's like, no. He was like, mistress, like, she's my dominatrix. And I go, oh, right?
What
So now
is this?
I'm really intrigued, right? So then he was like, I was like, oh, well, you know, you'll be all right. And he goes, you look like you'd be a great dom. And I go, what do I got to do?
It's actually
No,
really
you
funny
definitely
because
wanna know.
Empress, like your name on Instagram, Empress Sylvia. That's like
A dom? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
See?
I knew it. It's such a...
Yeah.
Well, I say Empress because I'm Mayan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take that too. Like, don't fuck with me. So anyway, right? He was like, I was like, well, what do I got to do? He goes, I just need you to embarrass me in front of the waiter, right? So I'm like, no, in front of the bartender, right? So I'm like, okay. And he goes, he pulls out a stack of ones, right? And like 5s and 10s or whatever. And then he goes, he's like, tell me I ain't shit when he like
wow.
brings it. And I'm like, give him a drink, he ain't shit, right? And then he's like, I'll give you 100 if you spit on me. And I was like, psh, right? Like, you gotta tell me twice. Just because I was so intrigued. But the thing is like, I knew the bartender, so I could only do that. Like, and I was like winking at him. But anyway, he became like my friend, right? And I found out he ran a Fortune 500 company, right? So the men, I'm sure that probably are
They're
asking
usually
you,
successful
are
guys,
very
what I've read.
powerful men.
Yes.
And so anyway, we remained friends, right? I told him like, this is not my vibe, but because I did, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about men wearing like pink like bras, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like he told me he liked to be in public and he liked women to walk him in dog collars and he would crawl.
Awesome.
Like-
I've seen that walking down the street before.
Really?
Have you?
I don't know where I've been. I haven't
In
seen none of
Boston,
this.
maybe
I gotta
not.
come to the city more often.
Yeah.
Girl, I lived. Right? I got,
Listen.
okay, so that's another thing. All right, tell me. Okay, so a day in the life. Tell me, as OnlyFans, you wake up,
Yeah.
right? And is there a certain time? So if a girl is trying to do, or a man, he's trying to do OnlyFans, is there a certain time when you log in and you're like, this is the best time to get like the clicks?
Yeah, honestly, late at night is the best time, obviously, because all of the guys are like
Oh,
up
that's when
and
they log
horny
on
and they're
and
like my girlfriend's finally asleep.
Yeah, let me have some fun.
So like 12
Yeah.
or 1 a.m.?
Even later than that most of the time. Like 2, usually 2 to like 4 most of the time. Because I also have a lot of guys who aren't in like this part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Also,
like
some of them in overseas.
Overseas.
yeah, or
But it's
even just
the
this part of
West,
the country,
yeah.
like the
Yeah.
West.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
Like
illegal
3 hours
in
behind you or
a
something.
couple of countries. India, it's illegal in Dubai. It's illegal in Turkey as well. So not all
So
countries
wait,
allow
that
it.
means if it's illegal, meaning the links won't go up, you can't log in on
I
there?
don't know how they regulate
Girl,
it,
they
but
got
I
dark
just
web.
know.
He's like, let me go on my dark web.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know
VPN.
how they.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do the subscriptions work? So it's you create some content and it's subscription based. So how does it work?
So they pay $10 a month for mine. And I only, on my main page, I don't really post like that much. It's mostly just things that I probably would post anyway,
Mhm.
but I get paid for it instead. And that's just $10 a month. It's just like videos of me twerking and like
Okay.
showing off and just like, you know, more behind the scenes stuff of the real shoots and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or like the full shoots. And then they can pay me. You asked the question earlier, like, what exactly do I post? They can pay me for extras, like, sorry,
It's okay.
like, toys and like playing with myself and like partner videos and stuff like that.
Partner videos.
Yeah.
So this is a sexual
Ooh.
aspect.
Wait. So
of it.
partner videos, like they want to see you have sex with a man.
Like porn.
Yes.
Yeah, they allow
or
porn.
a girl, like, but mostly guys, like, they're like, yeah, I want to see you fuck another
All
guy.
right, can I
don't know.
This is my I don't care, and a lot of men are gonna be like, oh my god, when I say this, okay? This is my take on porn. I think when men watch porn, you're low-key gay. You're looking at another dick going into a woman's vagina and you're getting off on that. That's gay shit to me. Like, I can see if you're watching girl on girl,
Yeah.
but when I'm like, how are you getting off on that? Like, to me, every man that watches porn and likes watching another man penetrate and watching his penis get hard, you're gay.
How about if they watch lesbian? Like,
That's what I'm trying to say. If you
Yeah.
watch girl on girl, then
yeah, that's okay,
that's
but
cool.
it's like a.
But
okay.
like, cause that's 2 women. So I know all these men are gonna be like, they're gonna think about themselves and be like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. So I'm talking to you fellas. If you guys like, and your shit's like this, and you get like this over a man, you low key got gay tendencies. I don't care what nobody say.
Maybe they want to learn some new skills. Maybe they're
And
watching
you know
and
what?
learn some
I'm
new
not
skills.
mad at it. You can have sex with a unicorn for all I care. I'm
Yeah.
just saying you got gay tendencies.
Yeah.
Well,
They
I
might
do have a
wanna
lot
learn
of girl
something.
subscribers
Huh?
too. I do have a lot of
You have a
girls.
lot of women subscribers?
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah, it is. It's fun.
Wait, ooh, that's
Yeah.
hot. So like the girls, wait, are some of the women married or like have boyfriends?
They have boyfriends. All of the girls that subscribe to me have
Ha,
boyfriends.
fellas, you guys don't gotta watch out for men anymore. It's women, we're
Mhm.
bagging your hoes.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
They're actually like the best. Like they pay the most too.
No way.
Wow.
Because girls like appreciate it more. They're
Yeah.
like more
I
understanding.
mean, I enjoy going to the strip club. I go to the strip club often, and I like it. I think there's some art into it.
Mhm.
So I
It takes
think
talent.
I haven't done it, but I would consider if I see a girl, maybe I want to learn something new. She can twerk or do something sexy. She's like, let me teach you how to do this in bed. I might subscribe to learn things to make it fun for me.
Ooh, there you
Yeah.
go. There's a
So,
whole like teaching you how to
Yeah.
do a lap dance. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
I gotta
beautiful.
work on my.
That'd be fun.
Can I just tell you, if I did an
skills,
OnlyFans,
twerking.
I would do a moaning. I'd be like,
Oh, I saw videos of just that.
that's
too.
all I would do.
Like just black
Moan it.
screen.
Voice memos.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's literally
I
what they
would-
are.
Yo, my moaning game is hard. I'd be like,
Well, on TikTok, they do those sound. That's pretty good sound
Wasn't
effects.
that good? All the men would be
Some
like, "Time out."
voiceover. Yeah,
I'm
it
telling
might
you, I
work.
might sell my moans to OnlyFans. Okay. So moving forward, so you're doing this. You said, and now at this point, it's like back pocket, right? And then we're gonna get into your frontier because this is how we're gonna kind of
Yeah.
put it all in. So, what other hobbies or interests do you have? And are you funding? Are you using the OnlyFans to fund, say, something else like your main goal you want to do in life?
So yeah, I want to go back to school for more school. I feel like there's so many things that I want to do. I just keep going back to school. Which,
And you can. You
yeah,
definitely can.
yeah, I just keep going back to school.
But wait,
honestly.
before you say that, aren't you concerned with the way Google is and media is that anything you do currently or in your past will ever affect you?
you can't Google me.
Oh, you can't. So OnlyFans, you can't Google.
You even people that know my real name don't know how to spell it the right way, so they can't Google me.
But
Girl, there are some investigative haters out there. You ever read this? I'm hating us.
I mean,
Have you had situation like that they find you a family member or a friend somehow?
Yeah. So when I first started my OnlyFans, this took about 2 years to happen, actually, before it blew up. My parents obviously found out. They didn't care. They didn't say anything to me. We didn't have a conversation about it. They just kind of knew, and it was like an unspoken, like, we're not going to talk about it kind of thing. Until my dad's friends started subscribing to me.
Okay.
No
Yeah, I've heard
way.
stories. I've heard stepfathers even subscribe to their stepdaughters' stuff. I've heard some stories.
It was really creepy. These are people that have like watched me grow up and like held me as a baby, stuff like that. Like weird.
Wow.
Yeah, so you hear that, stepfathers who are raising other daughters? Don't do that.
It's not okay.
That's
for
creep
sure.
vibes, and I'm putting you on the level of R. Kelly vibes. That's a no. So don't do that.
Which is predatory.
It is. That's like they're like that. Ugh, that would make me cringe.
Yeah, it was disgusting. So that was like a whole big thing, and I kind of like really cracked down on like privacy settings. And
so there is privacy things that you can do to kind of protect yourself to keep your identity.
And
private.
I have had people steal my content before, but
I heard that's a big thing too.
But now I just put my tag on every.
What do you
single
mean,
thing
like
I
steal your
post.
content?
Videos.
Like take your video and say that they're you.
Yeah.
Oh,
they have really good guidelines because I was going through the whole OnlyFans thing, and they have really strict guidelines on borrowing other people's videos and then privacy stuff, age limits. So they kind of do protect you guys.
I have to like have them sign an NDA. What's it called? A release form, something, whatever. Yeah.
Oh wait, you make them sign release forms every time you show your content?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's super good
listen,
guidelines
you guys
on
are
the
learning
OnlyFans.
this is business 101. Let me tell you guys something. Some of you ladies, okay, I won't call you B words, but are out here just doing things for free, right? And then you got the OnlyFans that are like, no, you got to sign this non-disclosure to see me. Take notes. If you don't know what NDAs are, Google, read, get hip to business 101. That's amazing. Like,
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I love that for you.
Honestly, it just makes me feel a little bit safer. Obviously, there's people that still like get around it, but other than that, I write contracts for people sometimes. I manage a music studio in Haverhill. I do hair and makeup, nails.
Congratulations.
I like how you're bossed up as like you invest the money you're making from OnlyFans. So I commend you for that. You're using the money for something like Via mentioned. You can use your money, and take it to the next level.
Well,
so
she's
that's
my
dope.
goal eventually.
Thank you.
Dope,
wait, let me ask you this. Has drugs ever been an issue for you?
Yeah, a little bit.
And are you clean now?
Yeah, I was with a guy that was just not good for me, and
right.
A lot of my money went up my nose during that relationship.
Right.
You were self-medicating. That's what I used to
I
term
only say this.
self-medicating.
I only asked you that question. Just a lot of people about to get all sorts of shocks on me. I have, my daughter knows everything about me, but I've been very like particular about who I say. But when me and her were like in the projects in Port, I went to the strip clubs. I had to do what I had to do. And I'm going to say this. I was the only sober one in there. Like every woman I knew was like, these girls were dancing and just putting it all up their nose or like, you know what I mean? I honestly had to quit when I saw a girl overdose on Special K. And I called the police and they got mad at me for calling the police. I'm like, so you rather have somebody die?
Right.
And I was like, you know what? This is not my vibe. I'm like, hold on. I'm coaching soccer right now. I gotta wake up in the morning. This is not what I made my money. This is God telling me you gotta go. Yeah. And it's sad. And that's why I asked you about your childhood too, because people will be like, oh my God, I'm being so real and so honest about my life. Whenever people are like, oh, dancers, I always say, yeah, we all have daddy issues. I don't care what nobody says, and we all have fucked up shit, because let me tell you, if I didn't have the childhood I had, and I grew up with a mommy and daddy who were always there for me and supporting me, not saying my adopted parents were not great. They were amazing people, but my life was just already fucked up before I got here. These are some of the things so OnlyFans, dancing, like, it makes you very uninhibited. It makes you very like, you do certain things because you grew up a little bit different. And you know what I mean? So like, I commend any dancer. I commend any OnlyFans. I do not judge. I think you guys are amazing. And honestly, but all I wish and suggest is that you guys really, instead of using your money for drugs, not just you, but any, that you use it as a stepping stone to be an amazing entrepreneur.
Yeah, invest the money, do something with it.
Start an LLC. You know, if you don't know what that is, get a lawyer.
I have one.
See what I'm saying? Boss up. Give me that. Like, this is what I'm talking about. And I see that. Okay, so let's introduce Tyr. How are you, beautiful?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, so you're 21 as well.
Yeah.
And how do you feel knowing some of your friends, they do OnlyFans or whatever? How do you feel pressure sometimes about like getting into that type of industry?
I mean, yeah. So one of my friends actually manages a bunch of OnlyFans, and he's been like, "You should do it. Like, just
He's a guy?
get the bag." Yeah.
See, this is another thing. That's another
Do these guys
thing.
get a cut?
That's not a
That's a
friend.
come up.
But
That's not a
time out. That's
friend.
another thing I don't like. That's like what's it called? Technology pimping.
Yeah. So like, if you are a guy and you are talking to a girl on OnlyFans, if she has a certain amount of subscribers and she's busy, you're not talking to her.
Oh,
Talking to a guy.
Oh shoot!
Wow.
You hear that, fellas?
Talking
You
to
think
a
you think
guy.
you talking to your OnlyFans chick, but you're talking to a guy.
Yeah.
wow.
Wait, but what happens when he wants to say like, hear you like, hold on, let me do my thing. Okay.
So you have like that content already. It already exists. So you can sense like you have that kind of all the content that you can send.
Yeah.
And then you will tell like the model, like, this are the requests
this.
that they're asking for. But the genuine just like texting back and forth, like business stuff. Sometimes
Yeah.
guys do that.
What percentage do they get, just business wise? How much do
I
they
don't
make?
know about like everybody.
Asking for a friend.
It just, I only know one person.
I was looking for a business opportunity.
I don't know. I think it's kind of, you kind of set your
the
own.
standard would be 20%.
20% to manage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you
20
in the music industry.
So it's like
20%.
it's 20% to manage, book, anything like that.
And they have like the studio set up for you, or do you guys like?
So that's different.
Do you
like,
go to a studio, or do you do like?
For my OnlyFans?
Yeah, like the
You
person
do
that
that at
manages
home.
I do
you.
everything myself.
Yeah.
Also, you don't have like a man,
Yeah.
but some girls do the whole manager. Okay.
Yeah,
And
but some
managers
people
just
have
like
studios.
managers will kind of do like the behind the scenes stuff. Like a
Okay.
manager is not who, like, they don't own you. They don't own
No, of course
your
not.
studio.
Managers
They don't
are
own
managers.
anything like that, but they kind of will connect you with that
Oh.
stuff.
So
So you guys, if I do my OnlyFans, I'm having a manager.
I
got you.
Look at her little hair.
She's about to start her
Yes.
empire. She's like, listen.
I like it.
But you know what? If I was going to do an OnlyFans, not me, meaning if I was a woman, I'm using this, not, I would rather have a woman manage me. So
Yeah.
Woman empowerment.
I just think that's a better situation because she's gonna know if it's my time of the month or she's
Yeah.
gonna know what I'm
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, that whole like, so back to men managing. This is a whole other subject. People are gonna be like, this bitch didn't say this. I think prostitution should be legal because if it's legal, then we can focus on the real sex trafficking. Like sex trafficking little boys, little girls, sex trafficking like without will. A woman who wants to say do OnlyFans, or a woman who wants to hit the road, or a woman who wants to be a high-end escort, that's her control of her body. If that's what and that's been the oldest hustle since forever and a day. You're never gonna stop that, right?
I see that.
So my thing is so a lot of these women, it's like, let's just say you got a call to go somewhere to meet a John, right? And he started to like rape you or something. You would be scared to call 911 because
Right.
you were getting abused,
Yeah.
right? Because then you'd be like, but imagine if women were protected. So that's why I think prostitution should be legal because if a woman who wants to be a prostitute or wants to be an escort or wants to be whatever she wants to do, we should protect these women because this is her body. This is what she wants to do to make
Yeah.
money.
Your body, your choice.
Your body, your choice,
End of the
right? Now, sex
believe- I like
trafficking,
that.
let's focus on these weirdos, you know what I'm saying? Like really trafficking women and forcing women and these pimps out here in these
Right.
streets and like, who are forcing the women to hit the track. So
They
like,
could
you know what I
develop
mean?
a whole union, and it could tackle down on STIs. Like maybe they have to register and get tested, like the porn stars. They get tested
Yeah.
so often
yeah.
before stuff. So I agree on that. It could tackle down on the STD, the
Or like the
HIV
brothels in
pandemic, and
Vegas.
all
It's
that.
like they are so strict.
The brothels in Vegas?
Yeah.
They
So
get
tell me-
tested frequently and
like
stuff.
every 3 days or something like that. It's crazy.
I'm
So they
on
get
board for that.
tested and then what? Like, and it's legal, right? And they get to file taxes
Yeah.
under entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that should be
Mhm.
a nationwide thing
Yeah.
because imagine, let's just say Joe, the lawyer, is like him and his wife haven't had sex and men, right? And so and he wants
Always
to
going
hire a
after my
woman.
kings.
Right, he wants to hire a woman, and imagine it's like an undercover cop, right? And now his whole career is down the drain because he will get sentenced with that whole sex trafficking. That's a horrible label. When my man just wanted to bust a nut, like that was it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's too much.
Certain states have it legal.
Yeah.
Like Las Vegas,
Yeah.
to mention one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, Tara. So you feel the pressures. Now, what do you do? How do you? You're only 21. You're a music artist. How do you fund your music career?
So I work at an independent living facility.
Oh,
Yeah, I work with the elderly.
That's
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, so that's
So, girl,
kind
we
of,
need to get my coffee in there.
I
Plug.
know.
Shameless plug.
But so I do that, and I do like a bunch of random freelance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do like everything. Like I do photography. I make art.
You're an
like
entrepreneur.
a ton of stuff.
Yeah, let's see the sneakers.
I make
Put 'em out.
shoes.
You know what? Just because.
made them.
Yeah.
Cute girl, can I see it?
Yeah.
It has pink in it, my favorite.
Yeah,
color.
and it says my name on them.
Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see if your feet smell first. Just kidding.
They're pretty new, so hopefully.
I
not.
love these. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
funny because I get asked to do a lot of sneakers, but I won't do it because it's just too tedious, and
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
like, it's a waste of time. And then I'll be like $1,000. Like I'm over the top with it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like a slow painter because my
Think
hand
how
is not
long.
very
That's
steady.
what I'm saying.
It takes
So
a
think how
while.
long that takes.
Takes a
So
while.
to me, I have too much going on. Where when people ask me, "Can you do my sneakers?" I'm like, "No, I don't got time for it. Like I just
Right.
can't do it."
Right.
All right. So tell us about your music. You said that before off camera that you do R&B.
Yeah, so I make mostly R&B and pop.
I gotta
but-
listen to some of your
Wait,
stuff.
let's do. Can we get a vocal?
Yeah, do you
No,
want?
just straight
Oh,
acapella.
God.
I'll
I'm drinking
dance for
coffee. That's
I don't
bad
care.
for vocal cords. It's good though.
Isn't it?
It's so good.
Oh wait, real quick. How's the coffee?
It's really good.
amazing.
What do you usually drink?
Really good. I will usually have I'm a big chai person.
So
but
you would
when-
love the cardamom. You would love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
so
into
I
chai.
wanna try that. I only get coffee if it's at a shop. Like I don't get coffee from Dunkin'. I don't get coffee from Starbucks.
Yeah.
Woo,
It's,
thank
honestly,
you.
it's not
Support
real.
small
Like it doesn't taste the
businesses.
same.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I usually have like pizza at home, or my dad travels a lot, like I said, so he actually goes to Guatemala a lot and gets.
No
Actually,
way.
yeah. So
Okay,
as soon as I
Pops.
tasted it, I was like, "Oh, I know what this tastes like."
Oh my
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So do you like the coffee?
Oh, I love it.
Good.
I love the coffee.
the coffee. Okay, so keep going. So you do that. So yeah, give us a vocal real quick.
Oh God, that's a lot of pressure.
I know.
You don't even know what to sing.
Just anything. Just do a freestyle. Do a subject.
I'm trying to think of
Like a
okay,
acapella.
I can do Billie Eilish because
Okay.
I love her.
Oh,
I like her.
If I can remember when I get put on the spot, I forget
Mhm.
that words exist. So I can't seem to focus, and you
Okay.
don't seem to notice I'm not here. I'm just a mirror.
Okay, Tia.
I check my complexion to find my reflections all alone.
Ooh.
I
Listen to
had to go.
Yes.
Yes!
Tia.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
you hear that, artist? If you're not coming on here and you're not gonna freestyle for us and sing for us, you're not allowed because she just set the bar.
Good job on doing that.
Sorry,
Thank you.
you know what I mean? She
Thank you.
just set the
Yes,
bar.
girl.
Sorry. So
Thank you.
if you're not ready and we don't want to hear, hold on, let me
You
get
did
my
that.
music out. Nope, honey, we gonna need
That's what
that
I was
live.
resorting to.
No,
I felt
you
that.
did so good.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I love
Shout
that.
out to Billy. She got good stuff.
I also
Yeah.
have recorded music in my past, so I know I still do. It's like a secret of mine. I've been recording for 20 years.
Oh, shit.
And everyone's like, how come you don't put your music out? And to me, it's just so personal. Like,
Yeah.
it's
You
so.
have some good stuff too.
Yeah, I have. I'm really proud for you of you,
Thank you.
and being so young because I'm in my 40s and I'm still so that's my last, like, let me rip my heart out and give it to the world. So I still been like holding on to it because it's so personal for me. And so like, I really commend you being so young and just being so in tune with your emotions.
Thank you.
Because I feel like to be an artist and sing and or make music, you have to really be in tune. Like, and I'm talking about real artists. No offense, like all y'all weird rappers with this weird bullshit. Like, I don't know.
Just stop.
Just stop. Yeah, like Sexy Red. Wait, I wish we had a trash. I just need Sexy Red. What's her name?
I agree.
Wait, what's her? And you're 21. Thank you.
She's
It's her own
She's
shit.
horrible.
And what's her name?
Sukiana.
Suki? No, trash.
I like it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front.
No.
I like the culture. They're just
No.
unique in them. I'm all for
What culture?
I'm all for people being themselves, and that's who they are.
You think
That's who
they're
they are.
themselves? They created some bullshit so
What?
they could be somebody.
I don't know. It seems like they're being themselves. I've never seen anyone like them.
No, it seems like they're creating a whole like image. And you know what? I hate to say it. White America is loving that. Like, look at these black people being ghetto. Like, they're not a good.
Right.
They're not. Yeah. It's so horrible. It's sad actually because they're like, we knew that's how all black women are. Imagine, look at you went to school and you know you have degrees and they hear music like that and they're gonna think that you're like that because she's a representation of black culture.
Yeah, it does kind of push that.
Yeah, it
That's
pushes
true.
that narrative.
But they see it as culture.
No,
they
they
see
don't.
Ebonics as culture. They, the whole ghetto vibe. It's also like I want to do ghetto things with my friends. What I've seen is like it's a culture. It's a part of them and their community that they've come from. That's what they know is their normal.
But that's what the music industry pushes. They don't want to push, say, somebody who has yeah, J. Cole is really popular, but he has degrees. Like
He has a message.
They rather push artists who are like
that is true.
You know what I mean?
That
So to
is
me,
true
it just
in a
makes
way.
me
They'd rather
really
push like the streets instead of picket
People with
fences
them
and
actual
shit, which
message.
isn't.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
You don't want picket fences too much
Yeah.
either, but like.
And a true story, like when I was really in the music industry, I got flown out for Interscope, and they I had an interview, and they're like, "Yeah, we want you to be like Little Kim," and I'm more like Sade Lauryn Hill.
Kim.
Okay, I love her, but that's not what I was on.
You just want to be you.
And not only that, though, my whole thing was I have a daughter.
Yeah.
And I didn't want her. So it's crazy to me how conscious I was at such a young age. I don't want my daughter and her friends to hear like. What did Little Kim say? Putting cans down my throat, like deep throat. Like she was saying some things, and I love Little Kim. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, so I just felt like the music industry is always trying to push the narrative, especially for women and female artists. And it was so dirty for me and so ugly for me because they literally always want you to sleep with somebody.
Yeah.
I had to get out of it. And I said, you know what? If music's going to be there for me, then I it'll be there for me, you know?
Yeah.
And I just felt really pressured because it's a very male dominated industry. And I just was disgusted by it.
That's the thing too. Like men have these ideas of women, and the women in the industry right now, Ice Spice, all that, like, she a baddie, she's showing her panty. To who? For why? Like, I get female empowerment, but whatever, but you're just giving men what they want. And now these men are treating us however which way, because, these women in music are okay with that, or they want this validation, or they want this, that, and the third. No, leave me alone.
Do you think sex sells more? What's
100%.
21 year olds, they're not millennials. What is your era? 21?
Gen Z.
Gen Z, yeah. So as a Gen Z, do you guys see in your era that's more sex? Because hip hop in the 90s were women with the big clothes and all that. So
right.
it's very different. Your era is more
It's very different.
sexualized.
I
feel. How you guys feel?
I was in a management contract for 2 years, and I wanted my thing to be turtlenecks.
Okay.
I wanted to always be in a turtleneck because I was like, you don't need to see, you need to focus on this and the sound coming out of it.
Exactly.
And he was like, no, because that's not capitalizing on your assets. And I was like, I'm 18.
Yeah.
Can I choose, please?
Yep.
But because it doesn't sell as well, and to some degree, be smart and use that to your advantage in some way. But it doesn't have to be sexual as much as it is just presenting yourself and whatever.
I
beautiful.
love how you're talking at 21.
Thank you,
girl. I love
seen her
this.
Instagram. She's nicely
Thank
covered.
you.
You have your own style. I don't see too much sex on your Instagram,
Right.
so that's pretty dope that you.
Yeah,
found
me.
your own
I'm
identity.
I'm 40, bitch. I'm here.
But yeah, it sells. I mean, that you listen to like the music that men are putting out too. In the past, it's a lot of like, "Let me love you," like I want to take care of you.
The old R&B.
Yeah, and now it's like, I'm gonna fuck you in the back of the whatever.
Old school R&B.
Bitch in the back with the Burberry on.
Wait, the new rappers, I'm like, the shit they say, they're like, ass and pussy, like always, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, have they never had vagina? Like,
literally.
I'm like, what is this? Like, welcome to having a woman. Like the way they sound, they're just, I can't say the word because it's not politically correct. So I'm gonna cut it. They sound like tards. So they just sound dumb. You know what I mean?
No, it does. It does.
So I know I sound old, and thank you for saying, because you're from the Gen Z and you're 21. But my daughter, who's 23, she says the same thing. She said, "Mom, the music from my era is so trash."
Yes.
And she's just like, she loves the 90s R&B and just like that whole like hip hop culture.
Yes.
And I know it's like fucked up, and I'm sorry, but like a lot of the music right now is just trap, and it seems to like, and this is nothing back to the OnlyFans or like back to dancing or anything. A lot of these dancers, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, I mean these rappers, I'm like, bitch, are you a stripper or are you a rapper? Because it's like they're just promoting all the time being a stripper. And if I didn't know that they rapped and just saw them for what they do, I'd be like, oh, these girls are dancers, like strippers, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I love dancers. I love it, but I
love my dancers.
Me too, but it's like, I come from the Lauryn Hill eras. I come from like the real
TLC.
No,
Well, a lot of people
I love TLC.
A lot of people come up that way, like as a dancer. If you're investing in yourself, you're turning into your music. But my thing is, okay, so if you put yourself through that, because that shit's hard. Yes. If you put yourself through that and you came out of it, why are you still acting like you in it? You know what I mean?
That's
like,
real.
That was a hard thing, and now you're out. You bettered yourself.
Yeah.
You put your money where it needs to go.
Why are you still in like
it?
You're in the club. You know what that is though? That's mentality. Just like they say, like you can't teach class. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. Like, so some of these women I see now with the whatever, like in the industry, I'm like, they're walking around with logos and Chanel this and Chanel that, but they just look ratchet and they look like empty souls. It's so sad to see.
It's also, you can get fake designer so easily. And most of the time you can't tell the difference. Like that status symbol whole thing, like,
I love a good handbag. I'm not gonna lie, but I always say bedazzle it with a little name brand. You don't have to be name brand, like she mentioned. She's like, I see girls that do name brands from head to toe. It's not cute. I agree with that. Like details, maybe a cute bag or cute shoes, and.
But let's talk back to the OnlyFans and even dancers. They're retail whores. They literally work just so they can have name brands. Like, so imagine they're not even investing in, say, property, or they're not investing in, say, their careers. Like, that's why I salute you. They're literally, they're dancing just so they can have the newest Louis.
Drugs
or they're
and
dancing so they
handbags,
can, it's insane to me.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I was like, this is dumb.
I hate so many times people will be like, I'll have girls all the fucking time come to me and be like, oh, will you help me start an OnlyFans, or can you give me advice on my OnlyFans? And I'm like, first of all, it's not that easy. Or they see me doing it, or I tell them about it and they're like, oh, that's so easy, I'm gonna do that too. No, you're not. You can try, but I promise you you're not.
Ooh, with the spice. I love that.
Or you can sell that service, you know, that charge them a fee for that.
No, I know. I do.
Yeah.
But it's like, people don't understand. It's hard. Like you said, like, it's not an easy life. It doesn't make you feel good about yourself. It's not easy to look good every time you leave the house and every time anybody sees you online. It's not easy to just be available constantly and consistent. Yeah, it's like not easy.
Wow. I love that you said that. So I love that you said that, because I always tell people too, like, I may make it look easy being an entrepreneur, even the show, right? We may make, but like, you don't know what I had to go through in my life. I had to raise my daughter and be a single mom. We were living in the projects. I was on welfare. Shit was so real. You don't, and that's why I tell people, like, I did by any means necessary. So if you want to be where I'm at now, are you willing to walk in my shoes? Because honey, my shoes were clear for a while and I was clear.
And I also
I love that.
My shoes were clear and I was hitting that pole. Yeah. So are you willing to do what I was willing to do by any means necessary? So me and my daughter were not on welfare.
And it's like, you know, like you sometimes, I feel like I did what I had to do because I was in a bad situation. And I feel like that's how most people start doing it. But then there are the girls that are just like you said, just, I need some extra money and it looks easy. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it's just like a joke and it's so invalidating, I feel like.
Yeah.
Would
Do
you
you want
consider it a
more coffee?
career?
Yes, please,
Okay.
actually.
Would
What?
you consider it a career like the OnlyFans?
So I feel like the OnlyFans jump-started my modeling career.
Okay.
Like I have like 4 different photo shoots this week that I have to get
Nice.
to. And so like, you know, now it's starting to pick up and I'm being taken more seriously as an actual model because I stopped doing as much on OnlyFans.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
mentioned
that
you
will
also, you know, I commend you in having your business, you have your LLC registered. So does your OnlyFans help you tax-wise? Does it benefit you as far as like...
So OnlyFans takes out 20%. It's kind of
Okay.
the same way that a manager would.
Okay.
And then you have to pay taxes at the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I would say it's a career.
Well, no.
You
Let me
know?
ask you this. This is another good question I want to ask. Are there like MILFs on there? Is that a fetish?
Yeah.
Are there like 60-year-old OGs on there?
There's this one woman who wants me to be her sugar baby, but she's I want to so bad. My boyfriend won't let me. She's a tattoo artist and she's like 50 something, and I'm like, oh, you're so hot. Like,
Yeah.
please.
So
I'm
she's
so
hot?
Oh my god, she's so hot.
I hope to be
She's
hot
kinda
when I'm
like you.
60.
She's
Okay,
kinda like
cute.
Did you say 50 or 60?
She's like 56 or something.
Wow.
You know
Yeah.
what my goal is? I tell everybody I want to be so filthy rich. I want to be a sugar mama.
Yeah.
But not to women, because I'm like I get annoyed easily. Like I don't want to catch it. I don't want to catch a domestic violence charge, honey. You know what I'm saying? Like we both can't be crazy. And people laugh at me, and I always say that because, like, yeah, I want to like fund my younger men's careers and be like, I'll take a percentage of yours and yours, and I'll be like the
Have
sugar
a
mama
spring
Shark
chicken.
Tank.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I just want to be so fit. But I want to be so filthy rich to change lives.
Mhm.
Like not to like buy like all the cars and all the houses. I
Right.
want to and I'm kidding, guys, but I'm not. But really, mostly to help my country. Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like that's a big thing for me. So like, I feel like being a servant and giving back, you know, to the community and giving back to like, especially with like, you know, and like here we're so blessed too that we're in United States because women in my country, they have no say, and they're literally used for like sex toys. You know, like
That's sad.
they don't, you know how it is, you're from
Yeah.
Honduras, like they don't get educated. So that's why I'm so into legalizing prostitution, because it's empowering for a woman to do whatever she wants to do with her body. You know what I mean? Where women in my country, they're being forced sometimes,
Yeah, they
they're
don't get
being
a
raped.
choice,
They don't
yeah.
have a choice. Having kids, you know, or they're, you know, they have to jump from male to male in order for them just to survive because there's no other way for them to survive. They can't read or write. I'm not saying that's all of Guatemala, but that's 70, 80% of Guatemala where women are that poor. And so they have to take their men's shit. They don't have the choice where they say, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I want to do this with my body, or I want to do this, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what advice would you, and are you willing, like say, so there's anybody here on this show, are you willing to manage? Are you at that point where you're?
Oh yeah, I manage I have a few different clients that I manage. They are mostly music. But if anybody has an OnlyFans that needs help, I got you.
Look at that, guys.
And
See?
Nice.
yes, I will.
And what's your
writing contracts?
wait? And what's your social media? Like, how should they reach out to you?
Harlow Rose for everything?
Is it no?
H
Okay, spell it. Yeah,
Harlow with 2 W's and Rose with 2 E's.
honey, we're slow. Spell it out
can put it on the when we post it.
HARLOWWROSEE.
at everything. Okay, and then you, Tara.
Tears we cry.
Wait, but no, how do you spell it though?
Oh, TEARS.
Yeah, but don't you do a backwards thing?
Yeah, my social media is just Tears We Cry without the 3. But on Spotify, Apple Music, all those places, it's tier. The E is a 3, so it's T3AR.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Okay, so how much longer do you think you're gonna do OnlyFans for?
So that part I find really frustrating about OnlyFans because you can't delete your account. You can't delete
What?
Yes, you can't delete your account at all. And you also can't delete.
Wait, so it's like in cyber world forever?
Not technically. So the only way that you can delete your account is if all of your subscribers unsubscribe, which is
Oh, I
virtually
see.
impossible to do. They do it on purpose so that they can keep taking your money.
Okay.
but you also have to have all of the money taken out and no subscribers. And then you also have to delete all of the content, but you can only delete 10 posts a day. So that gets really frustrating.
Yeah, you get kind of trapped in there.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question? What do you think is like a major con that like you hate? Besides that, that's something that's pretty bad. What else do you not like about the OnlyFans that limits you? You feel like
I appreciate the anonymity of it. Like I understand like people don't always want me to know that I'm talking to them, and I think I appreciate that. I get it. But for me, like, I probably would have found out that my dad's friends were subscribed to me a lot earlier if they weren't using fake names and the anonymity wasn't as... Like, I'm not allowed to fake who I am, so why are you guys allowed to?
Right. OnlyFans, listen up. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because as the creator, I had to, like, they have to put their IDs into and, like, verify, but I have to have, like, my name on my account matching my LLC and, like, all of this stuff. I have to prove that I'm that person.
Does every OnlyFans have an LLC?
No, it's, like, a specific thing. Every OnlyFans has a W-2 and a sole proprietorship. I have an LLC for me.
For you, because you're your own brand.
Yeah,
I get that. I love that for you. Okay, so this is my next question. I want to ask you. Wait. Oh my God, what was I going to ask you? We talked about.
We were just talking about the cons of it.
Yeah, the pros and the cons, and then.
The rolling money is a con too. Every time somebody pays you, like the way that it works is there's a current payout slot and then there's like the pending slot. So the money rolls. Every time you get a payment, the money rolls and it takes 2 weeks.
What does that mean for people who don't
know? Hold it.
So they hold it for 2 weeks or a week, I guess. And then it takes like 5 more days for you to cash it out. But
so sometimes you're really not getting paid for 3.5 weeks.
It's not the same thing as like you getting a paycheck at the end of every week. You can set it that way, but most of the time you want to just have manual payouts because OnlyFans will take your money sometimes.
Really?
I've seen it happen to a few people. They have been a lot better about it, but it was a problem like last year. But basically like every single, like say I get 3 $5 payments, but it's like 3 days in a row. So it will give me $5 that first day after a week, and then $5 the next day, and then $5 the next day. Like each payment rolls.
It's like getting paid bi-weekly. 1 weekend for you, 1 weekend for my business to put in the stock market.
Exactly.
So that's probably what they're doing.
It's not fun. That part sucks. But
okay, and then let me ask you this: what do you do about health insurance?
Well, right now I have my parents still, but. I don't know what I'm going to do after that.
But you can afford it if you do choose to.
Yeah, I could afford it.
Because I think you have to get 25 or 26. I would need help
figuring it out, but I won't be able to afford it.
Yeah.
Most things I can't afford now. I just don't really know how to do by myself 100%.
Yeah.
Like, didn't really have my parents there to teach me, so.
So you went to school for aesthetics. I also went to Elizabeth Grady in 2010.
It's a pretty good school.
And actually, I think everybody should go to school for aesthetics because it was just such great education on learning how to take care of your skin. And like I was able to pass it down to my daughter. So I just think that's amazing. But what's your next, so you say you want to go back to school, right?
Yeah.
And what's your next like venture, like education wise?
So I'm trying to decide if I want to do a quick culinary course.
Ooh.
And maybe something else on the side, just like
girl, you could do like sexy cooking.
So
She probably does already. That might be some content she does.
With like a French maid outfit. Hold on, let me give you my intellectual property.
Paid me
this
This one guy had me put mashed potatoes and gravy all over my tits and lick it off.
Do you want to hear? Oh my God. I have to tell you guys a story. It's about pieing. Have you heard of pieing?
Pieing? What is that?
Pie, like a pie. Okay, so I have a I don't want to say, somebody very close to me has a friend. She's dating somebody, right? Now, mind you, she's a corporate boss B job. She's dating this guy. She thinks he's amazing. Whatever. They start getting intimate, but his
I can tell.
Yeah, his penis isn't getting hard, right? So she's like, "What the fuck? I'm hot. Get your shit together." So he was like, you know, he was like, I have kind of like a thing. He's like, can we buy some blueberry pie? He's like, I
love
want
blueberry
to.
pie.
Yeah. She was like, okay, like, what the fuck, right? So she goes to the store. She goes, buys blueberry pie because she's like, yo, I want
As
this
she
D,
should,
right?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he's like, can I smother it on your face?
Ay, Dios mío.
So she's like, at this point, she's like, you know, the chocha's hot to trot. She's like, yeah. So he smothered her face, and then he starts like banging her. Well, it's on her face, right?
That's a
So-
unique fetish.
Yes. So she was like, what the fuck is this?
I've never.
So he was like, he goes, it's called pieing, right? He's like, I
Pieing.
like, so every
I'm
time
gonna
they were
Google
having
that.
sex, he like, wait, it gets better. The story gets better. Listen, so unbeknownst to her, right? He was videoing it, right? This is before OnlyFans. This was
shit.
like 10 years ago. So this is like on one of those fetish sites, like, you
Yeah.
know, they have for feet or whatever. So he's videoing, now he's making her dress up in all sorts of clothes. He's throwing it at her. So the shit is just running down, and then he's banging her, right? Yo. Anyway, one day something happened. She opens up the laptop, but she sees she's made like 175,000 from subscriptions. All right. So this is before OnlyFans. Okay. So she's like, what the fuck? Da, da, da. Bottom line is she's like, fuck my job. This bitch is pieing.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But she's like, but she was like,
I'd do it too for a check.
she was like,
Yeah.
you're fired as my
Works, I guess.
boyfriend, but we can still do the pieing thing. Isn't that bananas?
That's wild.
That's
People
wild.
are
Did you
into
see
some
it? Did you
interesting
see
things.
it?
Well, I'm reading a few
Did you
things
see it?
about it.
You saw it, right? It's called pieing.
A few
Just so you
things.
guys don't think. So just so you guys do
Sexual
not.
misogynistic
multiple people that do
disorder.
that.
Yes. Do you hear that? It's a sexual misogynistic disorder. Can you believe this?
It's definitely
each
a
his own.
disorder.
So imagine, ladies, can you
Per
imagine
Google.
a man before he bangs you? He's like, let me throw this pie on you, sis. And then he's banging you while blueberry
It's like
pie.
a golden shower, all the same thing. I mean,
No, I think
I'd rather be
I feel like this. I'm like,
I would take the
Honestly,
pie as
I don't
well.
think I'd mind the pie. I feel
Yeah.
like I'd be like,
Pecan
this is a
pie,
nice
pumpkin
distraction
pie,
from whatever
any
you're
pie.
doing down
Right.
there.
Urine.
I would pie on other places. I'm like, that might be a good situation. Although, you know, we have to worry about pH balance.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You gotta
But-
limit the area.
so anyway, all right, so let's talk about this too. So there's not just OnlyFans, there's also like a foot fetish site, right?
Yeah, I do that too. I'm
Foot
not on
fetishes.
the. I'm
You
not
do
on the.
that?
I'm not on the site.
What's
but
it called?
I'm not on the site. My friend is. I
But
can't
what
remember
is it
what it's called.
Oh,
There's like Feet Finder.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, Feet Finder.
that,
Why do
and
I know
then-
that?
Yeah. What are you not telling us, dear? What are you into?
so it's called Feet Finder.
I think
Yeah.
there's one like that. There's a couple, I think.
Yeah, there's another
Oh.
one. It's like clips for sale. That's kind of like OnlyFans, but I know it's more geared towards stuff like that, like fetishes. And then, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like starts with a W or something.
But do
Really?
they make good money just like OnlyFans?
My friend supports her and her boyfriend. And
Just showing her feet.
it's all she does.
Wow,
Just
See,
her
that's
feet.
so sick.
Don't
Like,
judge
that's
me
so
if I
fire.
start showing off my
I have
feet.
cute feet. I
And
don't know.
she has like her thing is like the giant thing. Like she's 5'8" and has like 11
Oh,
size
so
11. She makes so much fucking
Right.
money.
Yeah, because
Big
that's rare for
following.
women to have big feet
Niche.
like that.
Yeah.
That's a
Mhm.
niche, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Would you
Yeah.
do a foot fetish if someone was like, would you do that? Or is that like not in your standards of like,
Like income wise?
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like as an artist, like I want people to listen to what I
I
say.
think people would look at you weird.
Yeah, and like not that it's my problem if they
Mhm.
don't listen to what I say based off, you know, how I live my
Mhm.
life, but like my whole thing as an artist is I want you to listen to what the fuck I say. Like I'm not gonna sit and talk to you about superficial things. Like I have a song on my upcoming album called White Noise that is all about domestic violence and sexual assault. And I tried to put it in like the most blunt terms, like, you know, girl gets raped and the guys are like, well, I still fucked her. Like I still hooked up with her. So I want people to hear that. And if
Mhm.
they kind of see me doing whatever, I don't want that to take away from how seriously
Who you
they're
are as
taking
an
me.
artist.
Right, exactly. And that's
Yeah.
their problem. But unfortunately, you have to play the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Wow. So, okay. By the way, October is Domestic Violence Awareness
Yep.
Month.
Mm-hmm.
Just background on me again. I know I had a 501c3 against domestic violence as well. So that's kind of a little bit of my background, just in Guatemala and just things I've been through. So it was what I did is I had 2 programs. Is I gave makeovers to women transitioning out of shelters, and because I went to school for aesthetics, and then I dress them from head to toe.
That's
and
amazing.
Then kids, I would teach them sports like basketball, soccer, because I feel like I survived because I was physically fit. If I was like frail and not fit, I might have died in my situation, right?
Yeah.
So in saying that, one, I commend you being so young. And then let me ask you this. Did you grow up with domestic violence? Is that why?
So I have been in some insanely abusive relationships, to the point where like, I had panic disorder for a year and was living in my basement, like really struggling.
Well, let me ask you this. So what was it? Did you grow up seeing it?
No.
But you experienced it.
Yeah.
Some of it.
But that's interesting because usually if you didn't grow up seeing it, so what was it about you, and don't take this offensive, that you were picking these type of partners that was abusive?
So my parents are divorced. There was another problem. I'm not gonna go too much into it, but there was another person in my family who did
things,
some of that to me.
Okay.
To some degree. I never really
so
watched
that was
it.
a trigger.
Yeah, but I was bullied really severely in school for being thin. I grew up in the South. I have really curly hair. This is straightened because I've gotten so kind of confused with my identity, but I have like, anybody that knows me knows I have like an afro, like it's so curly. And so there was a lot of argument to me my whole life. I got called an Oreo because I act white and look black. Like it was just really fucked up. So I've had identity issues for a while, and kind of my parenting whole situation, like my dad, I didn't live with him. He was kind of in and out of the picture for me. And he wanted to make time for me, but he had, a wife and 2 other kids. And so my parents have always been passive when I came to them about, problems. Like there's only so much they could do. And from a young age, I just didn't really have my boundaries respected. So I started dating people who love bomb because I was looking for that, what my mother was giving me. And it feels so much stronger when it's not there all the time, which is what really sucks. But I started, getting in these relationships with guys where I would just be like, I'll give you anything because I just want to be loved. And I have borderline personality disorder. That comes from having trauma. And
I love how open you are about your mental
thank you for sharing
health.
that.
Of course. Well, that's something, there's so
and
much
you're
stigma.
an artist, you're so expressive, so that's beautiful.
There's so much stigma
that
around
you're
it.
so in tune too with who you are and with what I guess mental illness you have, and you're so expressive about it, and that's beautiful. I commend you to be so open to talk about it.
It's not anything to be ashamed about.
No.
And we put ourselves down so much for that
Therapy's
stuff.
normal. We got to make it the big norm. Mental health, be aware of what's going on. Get help,
Right. Especially in today's
some
world.
Resources too, as well, for our fans and our audience to see resources for domestic violence, suicide, all that.
Yeah.
So you have a song that you wrote about it.
Yeah, so I have that song is really close to my heart. I have a couple kind of about that. I have a song that's not out called How Did I? That's about like, how do you love someone who treats you so horribly? Because after it's done and after, they're gone, you're like, what the hell?
How do you heal?
How did I possibly remain in that situation? But when you're actually in it, like, I hate this so much. People always be like, why don't girls just get out of abusive relationships? No, you don't understand, because sometimes we're scared we're gonna get killed.
Yes.
Like,
that's a lot of fear.
Trust me, I know.
So
Trust me,
that,
I know.
for me, that's kind of the basis for me for violence. I was sexually assaulted in an Uber when I was 16.
Oh gosh.
But I'm not gonna sit here and hide that, because that's shit that's
part of your story.
So many
and
girls go through that, and they're scared to talk about it because people just want to.
Well, you know what?
suppress
You know
it.
what it is? Society actually still shames women, like, oh, well, you shouldn't dress that way.
Exactly,
Or,
right.
or you shouldn't put yourself in that position.
Right.
Or you got to be careful of, like, what time you go out, or you got to be careful what kind of friends you're around. Like, no, that should never happen to a woman at all. Like,
And if that's the case, and we're saying that, then I shouldn't have taken an Uber when I was 16. Why is that suddenly an unsafe situation?
right.
Yeah.
Why are women afraid to get in cars? Why are women afraid to leave their houses? Because of what? I was in a sweatshirt and pants, sitting in an Uber at 16.
Ooh, this took a very
I know.
deep turn, which it's okay.
It's the stuff people don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's uncomfortable.
It's
but, like,
uncomfortable, but no, it's important to talk about it.
It happens.
Happens every day.
It happens in safe situations.
1 in
Like,
4 women a day 4 women a day die from domestic violence. That's a fact. And I think it's 1 man a day. And, we also need to talk about this. This is serious, real shit. There's a lot of really toxic women that abuse men.
Yes.
And we don't talk about that.
Yes.
Okay, so
That's another
like,
one, yeah.
because men are so masculine in their ego, they're scared. And they'll literally, because, these young girls, they grew up as young girls getting abused. And then, or their mothers and fathers were talking down to them. We need to talk about women also being very abusive. So,
Yes.
first of all, if you've been in abusive situations, go to therapy and heal. So you're not perpetuating that to your partner.
Right.
And then you're not becoming an abusive mother.
Right.
That's
Right.
real shit.
Definitely gotta heal
And
first.
we need, because I have a lot of guy friends that literally have told me and were ashamed because they were being beaten or punched by their girlfriend or bats. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? And so
It goes both ways.
it goes
Yeah,
both ways.
definitely.
It goes both ways.
some girl on OnlyFans just killed her boyfriend
I
less
think
than
I
a year
read-
ago.
I
Yeah,
think I
she
read
stabbed
something
him.
like that. when I
Oh,
was
in
doing my
Miami,
research.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read a couple things.
Yeah, horrible. She's
Yeah.
still trying to say it was his fault and that it was
Wow.
self-defense.
Yeah, and no offense,
Sad,
she's a
sad.
white girl and he's a brother, so she's gonna use that white card all day, every day. Oh my god!
I'm not gonna lie. In my last relationship, he tried to kill me, but that was the same situation. When the cops came, I just was looking at his mom, who was there, and she's the one that called the cops. I can't do this.
Oh,
I
thank
can't
God
do
she
this.
called though. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
My ex's mom did.
I mean, I wasn't going to, so she had to.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot
I
of.
couldn't.
That's another thing we need to talk about too. There's a lot of mothers that know their sons ain't shit, and they're allowing their sons to not be shit. Okay, no,
Yeah.
mothers,
She warned me.
you need
Yeah.
to hold your sons accountable. This is another situation to all women out there. If you are dating a man that is a repeated abuser, you're part of the problem too. I don't care if it was 20 years ago. I don't care if it was 10 years ago. That was him when he was passed. No. If he abused a woman at any time in his life, why are you dating him?
Right.
There's a situation very
I
close.
agree.
There's a situation, I told you this, very close to me. I'm not going to say who, where he has abused me and abused a number of women. And this woman just married him. And what is this? You know what I mean? So she feels I don't know, sis, do you think you got the prize? So it's these men, I wish we had a database like rapists, where we had a database of real abusers. Not, and again, this is another thing, ladies, if your man does not abuse you, don't be one of those dumb bitches that call 911 just to be, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it, because to the real women like us who've been abused, that shit is fucked up. Don't do it. You should be put in jail for doing that. All right. But you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, if you date a man who has been a repeated abuser, I don't know what's going on in your head, but you're dumb.
Well, I think sometimes
help.
the
Might be an
other
insecurity
side of it
thing.
is if you grew up with that, you don't think you deserve any better. 1, 2, if that's what you're used to, that's what's comfortable.
Yeah.
Somebody treating you right, with the first kind of healthy relationship I got into, I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Or even-
I don't deserve this.
Or even if
It's like
it's
that.
the excuse of, well, he's not actually hitting me, but
Yeah.
he's still abusing you.
Or I did
Right.
something wrong to
Yeah.
deserve that.
Right. So that's real. And this is, I was going to say, in the database, there should be, and when I went off on my little women shouldn't be calling 911 thing, don't falsify things, but there should be a database for men who abused women. So women go out to date, they can kind of search and be like,
Like what they do with the pedophiles,
he's a repeater.
dogwatch.com.
He's a repeater abuser. I don't care if it happened 20 years ago. I don't care if it
That
happened
would be
10 years
nice.
ago.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
You know what I mean? Because for our daughters or for you or just my friends, sis, what's that? Who are you going on a date with? Let me see if he's on the list.
Well, because when there's a report or you go to the police or whatever, that shit, it exists. There's a track record of it. So that should be made available
Definitely,
to women.
Corey, check people's history when you're dating. When I'm dating, I'll go on mass.com, pay $25, and you can check someone's Corey. It's easy.
But I recently had a conversation with a woman. And I made her aware. I'm like, are you aware you can Google him and see his abuse? And she's like, well, that happened so long ago. And I was like, you're dumb. You know, like for you to say that was his past.
There's something about his character. That's his character.
And that's when I was trying to show her a sequence
And
of
it's
abuse.
like, if there's one report, then there's definitely a bunch of things that weren't reported.
Exactly.
That's
because
true.
not every woman is strong enough to report.
to speak up.
You know what I mean? That's real. Do you think that a lot of women in OnlyFans are getting abused?
I would say probably a lot have experienced abuse, but I don't think most of them are currently being abused. I mean, I don't really know what to say to that, because it's like, you never really know what's going on. It's the same thing as Instagram. You never know what's going on.
Right, or you
like,
never
with
know
the
what's
celebrities too.
You never know what's going on with like Mr. and Mrs. Jones up the street, you know, and then they living in a nice house.
Put up what they want to put out.
Yeah. Okay.
Most of the time, it's people you would never guess, too.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing big on domestic violence, which I don't like either. So, like, what I don't like is society thinks that domestic violence is like poor women. It's just that the rich women won't report it because they don't want to lose their lifestyle. So they don't want to lose their husband's money or their status, the yacht club or whatever. So that's not the case at all, you know? Right. And it's really sad because, you know, it usually is women who are in the lower social class who will report it, right? And the women who are very rich, you know, who like say live in Lexington, Concord, Marblehead. We're speaking, by the way, North Shore or I don't know, Hollywood, whatever, or like, I don't know, somewhere in LA, New York, anywhere. They won't talk about it because they don't want to lose or they want to keep that fake family glued together, that culture together, you know? So
or they're embarrassed.
They're embarrassed, yeah.
Or it's going to get put on, you know, blast because when you do have money or you're in a position where people are paying attention to what's happening to you, that's your personal business. And I think to some degree it's you don't want to lose what you have, but you also don't want to have any more attention on you if it's negative, you know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, we should probably wrap it up.
I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
So as far as the OnlyFans, when you decide not to do the OnlyFans, are you concerned about like certain places that have like a code of conduct
for business?
Not necessarily. The one thing that I would be a little bit concerned with would be like one day I do want to have my own private therapy practice. But that again, that's a private practice, so it wouldn't really matter too much at all. And I want to be a sex therapist, so it really wouldn't matter.
Sex therapist.
Well, let me clarify. I want to be a sex therapist for specifically for people who have disabilities and special needs.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've worked with kids with special needs my whole life, but I want to work with like older teenagers and young adults and like even adults, full adults working, because I feel like it's not talked about enough. Like people with autism,
honestly,
wheelchairs.
I'm not gonna lie, it's never even crossed my mind. Like I've never thought about having someone who has like.
I'm personally autistic and I'm very high functioning, obviously, but for sex there is weird things that like have to be very specific, and it's not talked about that people who have special needs and disabilities struggle with sex, and they still need it. They're human. It's healthy. It's natural. They need it.
That's beautiful. Oh, this was going to be my question. I lost it, but now it's coming back to me. So what's her name? Black China. She's now a reformed Christian and did this whole thing and cleansing.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
And that's what I was saying.
I love it.
Wait. No, I thank you. I thought the same thing because I don't like, because my thing is if you're going to do a whole cleansing and you're going to find Jesus, you're not going to make that so publicly. And like, and now the church is like, I feel like it's like all a publicity because she still needs money, right? But in saying that, let's just say it was genuine. Because she did say some key things that you said.
I'm all for involving. I feel like she's involving. She's like removing all the stuff.
I do like that. She looks
image.
so much more beautiful.
So what I was
not that she wasn't before.
No,
but like,
what I was
and her
going to
energy, I can feel it through.
Yeah, she looks happier.
Yes.
Okay, so but what I was going to say to you was, but she was saying that it basically fucked her up so much. Like she felt like she always needed to whatever, and she felt like the money she was getting was kind of bad self-esteem for her and whatever. So like, yeah, I think part of it's genuine, but I also believe a lot of it she's doing it, and I get it. She's a celebrity. She has to have money continue. She's used to a certain lifestyle, right? But do you agree that if you do it for so much and over time that it's very back to mental illness, it's very damaging?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, there's like I got to a point where I was working so much that I was staying in hotel rooms like literally every night, and I wouldn't leave the hotel room.
Just shooting content.
Just shooting content, answering messages, doing like live videos, stuff like that. And I made a lot of money, but it got old really fast. And having people look at you like that all the time and not feeling comfortable with your body at the same time, but everybody telling you look beautiful. Like that was the other thing. I was literally like on the verge of death from an eating disorder. I was like 82 pounds.
Oh my God. Well, you look gorgeous now.
Thank
and God
you.
bless you that you're over it. Because honey,
your energy's beautiful,
I
by the
love
way.
to eat. I could never have that disorder.
Yeah,
It was bad. But I was so skinny. I was just like, eventually got to a point I was like, I can't do this anymore. It was like mentally draining, and I just didn't want to promote that body image. It was like, this is so fake. Everybody was like, you look amazing. I was like, I'm literally dying, but thanks.
That just reinforces that too. And then you're like,
yeah, but I feel like, no offense, men that like really, really thin, tiny women are like low-key pedophiles.
I'm a really thin, tiny woman.
No, but that's your fit. Like you could tell like that's your body structure. I'm talking about like you look good with meat on your bones. Like I think if I looked at you,
my
tiny,
hips are fucking huge.
That's
and
what I'm
have
saying.
like
Both
big
you
thighs
ladies
and
are
boobs,
gorgeous.
but
yeah, you guys are both
I
beautiful.
was so tight.
But I think when men like very tiny, whatever, I think that first of all, you have probably a little penis because I'm just saying.
Nothing wrong with small penises.
No,
I did.
Trash.
Actually, I kind of feel like you are a little bit.
Small penis is a trash.
I feel like you're a little bit right, because I did realize that once I came back to OnlyFans, yes, I started getting more, like all of my clients started coming back because they were like, oh, she's back finally. But I did lose a lot of attention when people started realizing that I gained a lot of weight.
Oh my God. So you felt like they liked you better when you were skinny. Yeah, it's so gross. I honestly, I don't care.
It's probably the self-love too, the way you were loving on yourself. They probably noticed that too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because a lot of men too, like on OnlyFans, think about this. You're a man. You can't get like real women. So like on the streets, not saying you're not real, meaning like you can't get real love. So you have to log in and like try to fulfill this need and you may have a woman next to you, but like there's something missing about you. So men, like y'all on OnlyFans, you gotta go to therapy, because I mean, I don't want none of my women to lose money, but there's a lot of like on both ends, like there's a lot of healing.
There is a lot of therapy that goes on. Some guys, actually a lot of guys will literally just pay me to talk about their day.
I've heard that.
Really?
Yeah. Complain about their girlfriends, talk about their day.
Yeah,
just like ask about me, like want to get to know me, so they pay for it. It's just therapy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, congratulations, and I wish you so much luck, and thank you for coming
Thank you.
having this conversation
Thank
with
you
us.
for the coffee.
And yeah, if
That's
you
really good.
ladies.
and if you recommend it, then tell a friend to tell a friend.
Definitely.
Yeah, and thank you.
Gonna need to get some for myself.
Yeah, thank you so
This is
much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Of
you.
course. Thank you
I hope
for
you guys
being open.
enjoyed. Yeah, and thank you
Yeah.
for being so
Thank you.
open. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
So we're
that
gonna
was
take
nice.
pictures and stuff too,
Okay.
if that's okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We'll move this over and we'll take it in
Okay.
front of that with the cups.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
definitely
Thank you.
let me know about the sex toys.
Yes.
So is it your own line?
No.
Okay.
I literally just. I mean, I packed like half of them, and they didn't fit in that bag.
Oh, okay.
So
we
I had
need-
to bring a separate bag for them, and it still wasn't the whole
We still need to end
collection.
this, but let me just say this. So, sex toys right now is on a rise because a lot of you men are not satisfying women. And that's a fact. So that's kind of sad that women are pretending. Wait, let me do my pretend. Right? Women are pretending. Women are pretending to get off, and you guys are not sexually pleasing us. So therefore, toys, sex toys,
It's part of the foreplay.
Is part. No, but it's on a rise of women using it so much.
Mhm.
So, and by the way, the average penis size in the early whatever was 4.6 inches. It's now
It's
in
growing.
since I think the last 20 years, it's now 6 inches, honey.
Mhm.
I can't do nothing with 6 inches. Go away. That's trash.
If I have to say one thing, like to men too, like stop learning from porn.
Yes.
Quit. That shit's not
Yeah.
real.
Yep.
It's not real. If you like, just
Yes.
so many of the things that these men do in porn and these girls are like faking mooning. Like when they don't get that reaction when they do those moves, they think it's something wrong with us. And it's like, no. You learned from something that is catered for you.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So fellas, enough with the porn.
Yeah.
Put it down, right? Exactly. Because you have to remember too. Now, honey, if you're paying me to have sex with you, I might pretend too. So I'm just saying. Because
just ask just ask.
Yeah.
Like just communicate with your partner.
To each other's body languages and what you like, what you don't like.
Yeah. So that's a big thing. But I mean, yeah, OnlyFans. Think about this though, like OnlyFans and Pornhub, like it's just I don't know. Like so, that's kind of sad that we're just not sexually pleasing each other, that we have to go to technology to get these type of pleasures. That's really kind of sad, you know? So congratulations. I think your sex therapy for this.
I know. I can't wait.
I know.
Thank you.
But wait, you don't qualify. You're not disabled.
Well, I mean, it's for everybody.
Okay.
I just want to specialize in that.
That's beautiful. Well, congratulations and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I didn't care enough, I'd leave out.